Hello.
This is our final group
This
meeting.
is group meeting 4. It's great to be here. Okay, so I was the uncanny connector. What were you?
I was the question commander.
I was the summary sultan, and our other group member is not here, but she sent her thing.
It's okay. Yes. Condolences. Okay. Alright, I will start with my first connection. Okay, so it was in Act 4, Scene 1. It was lines 14 through 21. And basically, it was when Prospero talks about how Ferdinand is allowed to marry his daughter, and he says that if he takes her virginity before their marriage, that he will no longer respect her and he will be hated. So I said this is a connection to the real world because there are many religions like Catholics and Mormons who it's still if you have sex,
Frowned upon.
Yeah, it's very frowned upon. So I made that connection, and it's the same way that Prospero feels about his daughter. Yeah, so
That was a good first connection.
great first connection.
Good connection.
Okay. The second one was Act 4, Scene 1. It was lines 163 through 175. And this quote shows a great comparison between Prospero's personality, because in this quote he lies to Ferdinand and Miranda about where he's going. Because
Who lies?
Prospero? Prospero. Because he was talking about, basically it was when Ferdinand and Miranda were really happy that they were getting married, and then all of a sudden Prospero goes on his own rant because he remembers that Caliban's trying to kill him, but he lies because he wants Ferdinand and Miranda to keep being happy in their moment. So he's like, I'll just go take a walk, but in reality he's preparing for Caliban to come, and it's just showing that he's lying, and it's just the same personality he's always been, because he lies and he deceives.
And Caliban got caught, right? They got put in the cell. Yeah.
I personally disagree because he lied for his daughter, though.
Yeah.
He thought he was doing a good
I was
thing.
thinking about that too.
Man.
I mean, well, he was lying for a good reason.
Nah,
but,
I
he's
don't think he
still
likes his daughter that much, to be honest.
No, I think he's just trying to protect his daughter. He just doesn't want her to do anything. He wants his plan with her and Ferdinand to go as planned, which is kind of messed up in my opinion, because Ferdinand's he basically planned their marriage, which is kind of messed up.
Ferdinand's kind of
Alright, and then the last one, it was Act 5, Scene 1. It was 24 to 33. Lines 24 to 33. And in this quote, Prospero realizes that it is better to act honorably than to seek vengeance, because he at the end he resolves his beef with everybody. I mean, he forgives and forgets, and he claims that he's experienced all these feelings and has learned from his actions, and he's ready to move on instead of seeking revenge, because it would just make it worse anyway. And that relates to me, because sometimes I get pissed off at people, and sometimes I want to scream at them, but sometimes it's just better to let it be and move on. It's the same thing, but sometimes we all get mad.
Alright, I guess I'll go next.
Alright.
So, one of the questions is, why did Prospero choose to renounce his magic?
I think he did it because I think the reason he did it is because, he used his magic for everything he needed. He wanted to get his plan through, and he ended up not even going through with his plan.
Yeah.
And I think he just wanted to be a normal guy.
Yeah, I feel deep down he was a good person. He meant well, but
And he also,
earlier in the book, the way he kind of
I feel he did it just to prove that he's good again.
And he also got his wish to go back to Milan, so there's nothing that he needs to use it for anymore. Nobody fears him anymore. Everybody was already scared of him, and they let him go. So there's nothing to really use it for.
Yeah. All right. Another question is, why did Ariel put Tranquilio, Caliban, and Stefano into the pool? That pool thing. Do y'all remember that?
The cell?
No, it was. God, I can't remember what scene it was. It was Act 4, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see.
We said at 4.
Oh, I know it. Okay. I think she did that because I think that so Caliban and Stefano were trying to plot to kill Ferdinand, or I mean Prospero. And I think that Ariel did it because she just wants to like make
She
them
wants
all
peace?
No, she wants to make them all start fighting. So they like because she's basically the protector of Prospero, or Ariel. It's a he actually. We just learned that. He
No, it's a she. There's no way.
He is like the protector of Prospero. So she's like trying to do whatever it takes to make him safe. And if it means that he has to get like Caliban and Stefano to fight against each other, that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, Ariel is like the protector type.
Ariel's the best character ever.
Yeah, but she put
Ferdinand.
everybody else.
No, actually not Ferdinand. It's
Ferdinand's a bum.
Yeah, Ferdinand is a bum. He's a son.
The ones who got tricked were Gonzalo and Antonio. Man. They got trapped. They had no idea what was going on the whole time. But honestly, it makes you see how like the magical powers were so important because Ariel and Prospero literally controlled the whole entire play.
Yeah.
Like it was all their plan. Like all the magic, all the subplots, like
Yeah, they're in control the entire time.
yeah, and honestly, back to the question that you were saying, like, why did he release his magical powers? I mean, he had so much power, and to just give it all away shows that he, like, really doesn't.
Yeah, and he is deep down a good person, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I didn't think that, like, in Act 3 or Act 2 or Act 1, but
yeah, he was a
Act
mean
4 and
guy,
5.
and then, yeah, he changed it around.
Yeah, he switched up.
He resolved it with everybody. I don't know what was in it that made him realize it, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
But maybe that was his plan the whole
Yeah,
time.
because I was thinking about that too when I was reading it. I was like, what changed? Like, what happened? Did he need to almost lose his life
Yeah.
to figure this out?
I mean, it was honestly kind of random. Like, he just started forgiving. He was like, it's not worth it. And he literally, like, I think the biggest part was when he said, like, he forgave his brother, because that was the whole point. He wanted to kill his brother at the start.
After
Yeah, his brother is the one that led him to evil.
Alright, here's another question. It's, after spending the night in Prospero's cell, where did they decide to go? Like, they as in, like, it's like Stefano and Caliban and...
I think he just let him go. Like,
Yeah, but, like, where did they, like... They didn't go anywhere.
I thought they
but they
got
decided
kicked
they wanted to
off
go
the
back to
island
Italy.
or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're going back to
Oh
Italy.
yeah, the Milan. I think so. But I think yeah, I don't know. Prospero, bro. If I knew that someone was gonna kill me, that was planning to kill me, I would have been pissed. And I would have like seeked revenge.
That's a good vibe.
But I mean,
Well, people were
he
seeking
literally let him
revenge
go.
on him.
He literally said in the book it says go away. Like he just let him go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point.
But he's got so much power.
And
Alright,
everybody's
and
scared of him.
Here's another one. What role does Ariel play in resolving the conflict in Act 5?
I think that Ariel did so much for Prospero that like it honestly like set him at peace. I think that's the reason why he forgave, because Ariel
gave him so much power.
and she like went through with all of his plans like perfectly. She did everything right. There was nothing bad for Prospero. There's nothing that Prospero could be
That was
mad
definitely
about
her plan, too.
after. Yeah. And she realized like, and she knew, or Ariel knew that Prospero was gonna give him his freedom eventually, because she was doing so much for him. And I honestly think that's the main reason why he forgave, because I mean, he had nothing to worry about, and it was all because of Ariel. Yeah. All right.
But what is Ariel? Because like
She's like a
She's like a
spirit.
servant. Like a spirit servant.
Because I was like,
Is she-
she was
I
like,
don't
I
know.
was if I was human. I'm like,
I
thought she
really
was
I
human the
don't
whole time.
know much about her because I literally thought she was a girl this entire time. And
We still call her she, and it's a he.
yeah, I
It is
know,
a
but
man.
we've been doing this the whole time, so there's no point in changing.
Yeah, I guess.
I can read Eileen's part, then I'll read my own.
Just read some of them.
Wait, Eileen's the only person that said it's a he. So.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, but
We have no
it's
idea.
right. No, I read.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Bro, this is
it's a he.
She was an uncanny connector too, and she had like the same connection as you for the first one. She was like in the in most movies or even the world now, sex before marriage is seen as a sin.
Yeah.
For line 146, Act 4, Scene 1, and for the next one, line 198, Act 5, Scene 1, she said, I think this relates to the world when we choose our leaders. Sometimes we regret it after things happen.
What was the
Wait, what were the
It was
lines?
Act 1. It
Act
was
5.
Act 5, Scene 1, and it was 198.
what was like the
She said, well, you should do everything you can to win, even if it was just to gain 20 kingdoms and say you were right to do it.
what's the connection?
She said it relates to the world because sometimes when we choose our leaders, we regret after some bad things happen.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I agree.
And she said for line 184 to line 186,
Uh-huh.
it relates to herself because every time we discover something new, we either find it beautiful or awful.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it talks about. Yeah, that's true. And it says, like, right here, it literally says that you can't talk about something that big over one meeting. Like, you need to, like, take time to process it. Like, whatever's bad or whatever's good, like, you can't make your first assumption off of that. You have to think about it and then respond because your response in the first 3 seconds is going to be worse than your response
Yeah,
after
you have time to think about it.
All right.
Okay, so for mine, I was a summary sultan, and in Act 4, it was really just, I don't know. I feel like everything just went downhill, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Everything was just slowing
It was,
down.
like, settled.
Yeah, everything was slowing down, everything was pieced back together. And I said, so first, Prospero gives his daughter his blessing. He was like, I've been too strict on Ariel, you can marry her, whatever. And then he summons spirits to perform a love mosque.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I didn't really understand that part of it.
It's basically Prospero is like happy for their marriage, so he summoned like these love gods to like signify their marriage. And it was just like all happy go. It was like happy, very happy.
Yeah.
But
I
if
remember reading
Ariel's
that, but I
not,
didn't really understand it.
I think it was just basically. I think it was just a sign to show that they were like in love with each other and that their marriage was happening.
yeah. And before this, they had a feast with the spirits, and they performed like the spirits performed the dance for the king as well. And I think all of them were there. I think Gonzalo was there and Caliban. And then
Was this Act 4 or 5? This is Act 4. Right?
it was Act 3,
Oh.
actually. I think it was Act 3, Scene 3. I'm not really sure which line it was. And at the very end, Ariel wins her freedom at 6 p.m. every single day. And also for everybody, they all won their freedom.
Yeah. All
This
right.
Prospero chilled out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
I like
Prospero
Prospero.
gave his magic back, and I think they all lived happy ever
I
after.
think the difference between Act 1 through 3 and then 4 and 5 is like completely different. It's like it's almost like a new.
It's a new
It's like a
thing
new book
because
Yeah.
the whole, and usually in books and in movies, the character, they have like one personality and it sticks to it, or the personality gets deeper, or like, or it'll be like a real small thing that they will make their whole personality. Prospero did a whole 180.
Yeah, he literally did. And I think.
Yeah, in Act 3, or like just the whole first half of the book,
Yeah.
Prospero was not like a good person at all. I just wanted him dead.
I think everybody.
Act 4, at the beginning at least, I guess I still wanted that, and then Act 5, the end of Act 4 and the beginning and all Act 5, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
Deep down.
I think you meant that. I think everybody was so angry at each other at the start. Like there were so many plots to kill. Like Stefano and Trincolo and Caliban wanted to kill.
And then Ferdinand and
Prospero,
Miranda were like,
and then freaking Sebastian and Antonio wanted to kill the king, and then at the end,
Was
everything
it Caliban that
just got
first wanted?
resolved.
I think the writer
It was
did
Caliban
this-
that first wanted to kill Prospero, right? Like
Yeah,
that was.
and then he got Stefano and Trinculo to go with like whatever he was saying, and then also Prospero. It shows that Prospero's a good guy because in Act 4 he intervened between. So he figured out that Sebastian and Antonio were gonna kill Alonso. So he literally intervened and like he saved with his magic. He saved Alonso's life in the little
Yeah,
swamp. that they
and
were in.
it wasn't until the end of the book that Alonso found out that what's his name was still like alive.
Yeah.
It was Ferdinand. I'll be right back.
Alright. I mean, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Oh, dang, it's 15 minutes?
That's good. I mean, we talked about a lot. I mean, what else?
Yeah.
Let's
We
think
talked
about
about the
it.
whole book.
Let's think about it. Who are we missing? I mean, also at the end he granted. I forgot who it was. I think it was some dude. He literally gave him his own island. He literally gave him his own island.
It was.
Hold on,
Was it
I put in.
Trinculo? No.
Let's see. Oh, Gonzalo. Yeah, Gonzalo was rewarded with his own island because he helped Ferdinand and Miranda.
Oh, yeah.
He literally
He
gave him
gave
his own
Gonzalo
island.
so much praise.
Where's what's his name going? Where's Prospero going?
He's going back to Milan. That's what he said. He wants to go back to Milan. And I think the craziest part is that I think Shakespeare honestly did this on purpose. We didn't hear one word from Antonio, his brother.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna get into like a huge fight or something, but I think it just.
I thought Prospero was gonna die at the end.
But I honestly think Shakespeare did it to like keep us
So
on
remember you
keep us
spoiled
on a
it?
cliffhanger. I think everybody was waiting for it to happen,
Yeah.
and it just didn't happen, which like. I don't know, it makes the audience think more. I think
Yeah.
that's why they were probably more into it. That's why Shakespeare was such a good like playwright. But yeah.
Pretty good.
Alright. Final meeting.
Yay.
Deuces.